This is RPG Studio after 1 month of game development. I first started RPG Studio back in February of 2024. However, the project is based on a project I worked on previously, RPGFX.com, which I was working on 5 years ago. It was a Rails app using WebSockets and vanilla JavaScript to render this multiplayer game world. The key of that project was that editing it could be done right in the game itself, and those changes would be sent live to other players. So basically like playing Minecraft together, but making games. I quickly hit some limitations with what JavaScript could do, and so put the project on hold for a while until Rust came out with excellent WebAssembly, WASM, support. And so I've now rewritten the entire project from scratch, and here's my progress in 1 month of development. To start with, you have the ability to play now, make a game, or load a game. Loading games just loads JSON files directly from your computer, which you can export from the game maker as well. We'll click play now and see kind of what the default game world looks like. So this is the starter game world. There's your player, there's some goats, there's some other characters. Essentially, this world just exists to show off a little bit about what the platform can do. These goats, when they collide with your player entity, a script is executed. That script can be anything from teleporting the player somewhere else to simply making the entity talk and say something like "bah." Currently, there's some bugs in this version where you can pass through and walk through areas that you're not supposed to be able to. There are other entities that, for example, this one creates a dialogue if you talk to him. These two entities, if you hit them, you become those entities. And I have not thoroughly tested what that does in this latest version. The first half of the month was spent getting some initial features, ensuring that the game is relatively playable, and making sure all the tiles and chips look pretty reasonable. The second half of the month was all about networking. If you notice my character kind of stop some places as he walks around, that is because we are actually playing the multiplayer version of this game. So all the interactions, the entities, etc., are actually being handled by a server and updated through a WebSockets connection. I also have WebRTC, real-time communication, integrated, but it isn't being used for very much because there are quite a few limitations as to the size. But in the game, you can pick up items like this sword, and you can attack with this sword. As you can see, there's still some silly bugs with the animation, but those are little things. Monsters can attack you. This spider is trying to get me, and we'll let him kill me. I don't like spiders, so it's kind of appropriate that spiders are the first enemy. When you die, you spawn a death animation and then respawn back at the starting position. That can be customized based on whatever you need for the game that you might be developing, or the game I might be developing with the program. The slimes also will attack you, and I can slash them to death. The water certainly needs redrawn here, but that is animated, so you can kind of get a feeling that, oh, there's the ocean there. There are some graphical glitches, say at the bottom of these trees, near this water, that I still need to work out. These dog entity says bark. The cat entity says all kinds of crazy stuff. The cat is supposed to represent our cat at home, Taro, who is a very stoic and mystic cat. Eventually, we'll put some area over here so that it teleports you to a different map. Inside the editor, you have the ability to edit entities, layers of the map, create different maps, etc. Many of this may be very buggy in the multiplayer version because I've just started reintegrating everything. Starting with your game, you can change your game details, the name of the game, description, author, the game ID. In the multiplayer version, you're not supposed to be able to pause the game. I think what the pausing is doing is it's just stopping listening to the server. So the game's not actually paused, it just looks paused. So that is one of those little bugs that the multiplayer does not yet support. You have an editor for your entities. So you can edit entities like this goat. That's the path the goat is currently taking. The behaviors that the goat has. The interaction scripts that the goat has. When you touch, when you collide, when the player collides with the goat will speak, bah. And that's all done through scripting. So you can script an entire game right in the program. These are little shooty guys. They're trying to shoot me. I do not want to be shot, but there are some bugs as to exactly how they shoot due to the multiplayer changeover. Each of these trees is its own entity. The sword here is actually, there's a sword, but there's a sword spawner underneath it. So the spawner is a little blank square that's underneath the sword. These didn't snap back to where they actually are on the server because they are not being updated. So the server sends only Delta updates to the game, and currently my editing tools only edit on the local copy. That's kind of the project for this week, is to get them working with the server happily. These carrots are basically spawners that spawn different growing levels of the carrots. They're pick-upable items, like there's a spawner that spawns a pick-upable carrot, and then the carrot you can pick up. So we'll drag the spawner away, and you see this is a pick-upable carrot. The map, you can draw however you'd like. There's all kinds of auto tiling, so if you add tiles, they'll kind of be pretty in the way that they move around together. Somehow I've trapped myself and can't move anymore. There is a editor for your chipsets and art and graphics. And coming soon is editors for a database of entities for your game, items, stuff like that. You can download the game with this download button, and it goes to your downloads folder. We have the ability to erase map tiles with this eraser tool, grab entities with the grab entity tool, paint with the paintbrush tool to paint things onto the map. Each editor feature is a tool, which is also the same as any item you might use in the world. such as a bag of seeds, or a sword, or a fireball. That way, the editor and being able to edit the game can be processed in the same way as actually playing the game, which makes it so that integrating editing abilities with the game is much easier than it would be otherwise. So that's the progress of RPG Studio right now. We'll open a new tab and show that you can see the character that I just left. I can go back to, I don't know where he is. I think I bugged the game when I switched between editing tabs. But there's chat, and so characters can chat in the game as well. So we have effectively an alpha version that still has a lot of bugs that are being worked on, but I hope it's cool to see what I have built so far. And if you can see the vision, any kind of game, not just 2D RPGs, will be able to be made in this program, especially with the power of the scripting that we have, where scripts can be quite complicated. You can show dialog boxes, you can have if statements, you can query variables on the player, making it so that whatever kind of game you want to make, you can make it right in the platform, save it. It's saved locally automatically. Soon it'll be saved on the server automatically, and it'll be really easy to make multiplayer networked games with just right from your browser without having to download anything. So that's RPG Studio FX right now. I'm interested in seeing where I get in a month. I'm expecting maybe it'll just be bug fixes or all the possible silly little bugs, making it so that the map is live updated as people edit it and people can play while the game is being built at the same time. That would be really cool. So that's kind of my goal.